I get this. It's DRAH with the flame hands. I write, then I spit. Call me Rain Man.
What's up, guys? My name's DRAH and I'm back with another album review video. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and be sure to check out my shop below. Just go check it out. You can find stuff like this. I design all of the designs you see is all original. I do it myself. But let's get into today's video, which is an album review video. I reviewed Pete Rock and Flea Lord's The People's Champ. Just for some context, I already did this review video, so if I seem a little off, I'm gonna try and say everything I said in the last video, but it's definitely possible that I missed some things or that some things come off a little bit different. Anyways, that's okay. Let's scratch that. Let's start new. The People's Champ, Pete Rock and Flea Lord. So Pete Rock is the producer, to my understanding. Flea Lord is the artist. And he reminds me, or at least his flow is, this whole album, technically the flow on the whole album reminds me of Cassidy. If you know who Cassidy is, gives off that Cassidy vibe with the flow and just his rhyme scheme and everything. And so when I rate the flow in each track, I'm rating it on the beat. So that's how we're getting a different flow score, because most of the time throughout the album, he has the exact same flow through each track. And for me to just rate that flow, I'd be giving the flow the same rating throughout, and I feel like it's just not authentic. So I'm rating the flow to the beat with the lyrics, and that's how I get the flow rating. Let's get right into it. Let's talk a little bit. The People's Champ intro, amazing start to the album. I was like, okay, I'm ready. This is dope. I was excited that I got to listen to this album, that it was recommended to me. Shout out to one of my OG subscribers, Lucky. I was very excited that he gave me this album because I never listened to Flea Lord, and this was a great introduction. And like the People's Champ intro is a great introduction. I gave the lyrics 10, the flow a 9, and the beat a 10, giving that one a 10 out of 10 to start off the album. Just dope. Just like got me excited and pumped for the rest of the album, and he did not disappoint. Let's move on into the next track, Stuck on a Grip. I gave the lyrics an 8, I gave the flow a 5, and the beat a 10. And like I said, I'm rating the flow in accordance to the beat. So the beat was a 10, and because of the beat was a 10, I feel like the flow was a 5. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't understand what I'm saying, that's okay too. But that gives this track an 8 out of 10. So I gave Stuck on a Grip 8 out of 10. Surfing with a K came up next. Lyrics 8, flow 8, and I gave the beat a 6. What I want to say is Flea Lord definitely comes with like such a cool concept with each track. And like I said in the beginning, he's got that Cassidy vibe going on. So you can hear it in the hooks especially. If you don't hear it, maybe I'm going nuts, but I definitely get a Cassidy vibe. Surfing with a K gets a 7 out of 10 for me. 24 Hollows came up next. Lyrics 8, flow 6, beat 8. This one gets a 7 out of 10 for me as well. Kind of the same vibe as Surfing with a K when it comes to like the hook and just the presentation of the track. Moving on to Different Options, which I feel like was the whole album is dope. Like, it's just dope. Go listen if you haven't. It's amazing. But I'm saying this because I gave Different Options. I gave the lyrics a 6, the flow a 6, and the beat a 5, giving this a 6 out of 10. But I don't want to take away from the track because it wasn't bad. It was just that the energy in this one was lower than the rest of the album. So I gave that a 6 out of 10. Retired from the Sniffy. Lyrics 10, flow 8, beat 8, giving this one a 9 out of 10. Like I said, this whole album is crisp. The whole album is crisp. Even the 6, even the 7s, it's crisp. Like, go judge for yourself. The next one I put on my playlist, but the rest of them I didn't put on my playlist because it's just the vibe of my playlist has a certain vibe to it. So the next one vibes with my playlist, whereas the rest of the tracks didn't. but again, doesn't take away from how crisp this album is and how dope it sounds and how much of a classic it really is. This is like a classic album. Like it's timeless. It's timeless. So the next track, Job Done, I put this on my playlist. It was my favorite track on the album. Gave the lyrics a 9, the flow a 8, and the beat a 10, giving it a 9 out of 10. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I don't know what else to say other than let's move on to the next one, which is also one of my favorite tracks on the album, Mini Mac on the Fridge. Lyrics 8, flow 7, beat 9, giving this one an 8 out of 10. Definitely the second favorite. This is my second favorite track on the album, even though it's an 8 out of 10. I really like the concept of this one and the lyrics in this one, and just how this one was put together. Moving into Giving You My View, lyrics 10, flow 7, beat 10, giving this one a 9 out of 10. Like I said, the whole album is crisp. Dope track. And moving into the last track, the People's Champ outro, we got the lyrics an 8, the flow a 7, and the beat is a 9, giving this one an 8 out of 10. Amazing all the way through. Like I said, timeless album. I actually really enjoyed this album. Like it's one of those albums that you listen to it on its own. You know what I mean? Like it's not something you put on a playlist and you hear, you know, one of this track, one and then a different artist. Like if you listen to this album, you gotta listen to each track back to just all the way through, because it's that good. It's such a classic album. I actually really enjoyed it. And that's part of my reasoning for not putting more than one track on a playlist, because when you hear one, you need to hear the rest. That's just the way it is. The way I'm talking about it, you know, I'd probably give it, if I'm being biased, just in my own opinion, I'd give this a 9 out of 10. But according to the numbers, and we do the numbers, we go by the numbers, because I feel like it's more fair that way, especially when certain albums have like a track that I feel like is like, oh, that's not that good, which this album doesn't have. We got to go by the numbers, because that's the realistic output rating. So People's Champ, Pete Rock, Flea Lord, I gave an 8 out of 10. It's a dope album. I would have personally gave it a 9 out of 10 if it wasn't according to the numbers. So I advise you guys, go check it out. Hit that subscribe button. And I just want to add, guys, stick around right now, because I don't know if he's a subscriber or just a commenter, but he sent me his track and he said, hey, check this out. And I was like, man, I'll put it in my video. So let's check that video out right now. I'm just gonna let it play so you guys can judge it for yourself.
Let me see if I can devise something, cause at the right time, I'ma buy something. Should be land, could be your soul, cause everything has a price, even a heart of gold. Bid on it, make it strong. Here's a lesson session for the adolescent. Examine countermeasures from your predecessors, and make names profound when on the ledges. I give them truth because they all be drunk off that love and the lust and deception of the love from the bucks. And a lot of great niggas died cause they never learned the era of a man. And the man said, you'll never have shit if I'm still standing. So fuck that, I'm the man, shit is grandstanding. And I'm telling y'all, we're men, it's too much attention we're demanding. So stop with the grandstanding, dog. There's way too much attention we're demanding. AKA the news.
If I had to give that a rating, I'd probably give that like a 6 out of 10. Dope bars there. You could hear the personality in his voice. He rode the beat pretty well there. He had those bars that make you think, and that's very important. So I just want to say thank you for putting that music in my comment section. Hopefully you're subscribed, and thank you guys. God bless.